Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back, next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Let's zoom in left side of the bracket, the bottom part again. So the more recent decks, more broken-ish decks compared to the upper part. So left side, both of these decks already lost at least one match, I guess. So, as you know, if they lose this one, they'll be out of the tournament. So we have two decks from the same year, but I think a different format. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Both decks are very similar, but I don't think Infernoble Knights was playable. I'm actually not sure. Was it already out at full power when Adamancipators was at, at least had access to triple Block Dragon? I can't remember, right? It was a very strange format with COVID, etc. So, which deck has the advantage? I could definitely agree with the people seeing that, Adamancipators should have the small advantage, but then again, the dice roll, the rock, paper, scissors game is of course going to be very important, and that's not different compared to this particular, at least for this particular matchup. And Infernoble Knight is able to start, and looking at my hand, no hand traps. Well, the thing is that, and that's the huge deal with Infernoble Knights, even though I think, Adamancipators is running the Dark Ruler in the main deck. Like, let's say if you did open Dark Ruler, they can just, discard it with the confiscation-alike effect of the Smoke Grenade. That was the name I was looking for, and that's a huge, huge deal. Plus Dolphin as well, right? If they open, what is it, Connector? Yeah, new Spatian Connector. So, then again, the talents are also there as well, but I don't think main deck Adamancipators are running too many traps or hand traps. Are they? I don't think so. Nibiru's are in a side deck, if I'm not mistaken. I should be, at least they should be. So the talents aren't really live, especially, in game number 1. So, again, these are some standard Infernoble Knight combos, you know how this goes. The thing is that there might be some small variations of you putting up an Omni Negation before you're going for your Aurora Dawn, and then looking at like Boral Savage, for example, or maybe Gearfried, but Gearfried only negates monster effects. But I mean, for that time, 2020, Nibiru was huge. So this is already your last game. Again, opponent has free information due to the Smoke Grenade, plus there is a Charles pop during my turn, plus double Omni Negation in the form of Herald and Savage. I'm not winning this one. Yeah, what can I do, right? Search, but this should be a quick game number 2. And post side deck going first, Trap does shoot a pointer, that was the name I was looking for, is definitely going in 3 a pointer right in a side deck. As for the rest, you definitely want to open with them. I remember side decking in, no, that's going second. I'm looking at Ra's Sphere mode, which again is also iffy. Again, it's not doing anything when you're going second. Your opponent can just pick it and discard it off of the Smoke Grenade, so maybe the 6th card, but I mean the chances. So again, this should be my duel. We, what was it? Nibiru was negated because of which? The Quakimeru Guardian. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, so both decks are very similar of, I can go first, I can put up a potential Omni Negation or a Monster Negation to, shut down your hand trap, and then I can go from there establishing my board. I think the big advantage that this particular Adamancipator deck has is that it has the Buster Lock, right? So something like Dark Ruler doesn't really do that much, but Talents, yeah, that Talents over there in the hand, that definitely could, be useful if it wasn't for double Omni Negation, both Herald and Savage. Appaloosa is okay, but again, not the best against something like Dark Ruler, but it is what it is. I don't think I have an option to put up a Block Dragon, because again, I needed my hand here as well, because of a pointer, and yeah, that's easy GG. We see the 2 bricks, and that's, I think, the small disadvantage of Infernoble Knights, is that they made like a couple of those bricks. I'm looking at Deskbot 01, I believe, and Coldwing, that's it. Like, look at this, like, going second for that format, that was fantastic. You had Nibiru, Adamancipator mirror match maybe, and there's Ra's Sphere mode, which, let's face it, in this matchup was fantastic, and already opened with, what was it, Gigantus, and, whatchamacallit, the Adamancipator level 4, you know which one I mean. That was fantastic, because again, you're probably using your normal summon for Ra's Sphere mode, and then you can special summon level 4 and potentially go from there with Gigantus, etc. You still need to connect with the tuners, but it is what it is. That's, you know, that's how Adamancipators work. So again, the standard Infernoble Knight combo, and I believe there's still an extender as well, right? The thing is that, yeah, the reason why I'm keeping Nibiru is that the decks, like at this stage, I think, depending on which extenders, the deck can still put up a potential Omni Negation before, well, let's say if I force out an early Herald, they could potentially still go for, what is it, Tatsunoko and potential Boral or something like that. So another Omni Negation. But I don't think it mattered too much. No Charles, I think so. But again, no special summoning capabilities, so what can I do? That's the problem, right? I needed, is it Analyzer, the level 4? I think so. And Gearfried hits the field, and this should be, you know, Access Code Talker, OTK. Yeah, indeed, should be Access Code Talker. So that's the thing. Like, going second for Adamancipators against Infernoble Knights, it's definitely not looking good. You need some specific combination of hand traps, multiple hand traps, maybe like double Ras Fear Mode maybe or something like that, plus like an Analyzer to not use up your normal summon during your turn and potentially capitalize on that. That's definitely an out, that's definitely an answer, but you know, that's not the best, and the chances of drawing that, it's not that high. So again, go first, and are there any hand? Yeah, Nibiru, we know Nibiru. So again, we have to play around Nibiru if we see the opportunity. And this was, I think, an obvious play, right? I can commit for Block Dragon and potentially go for an early Appaloosa, right? And, you know, still have Gigantus plus the level 2 Adamancipators, and I can establish my board, potentially shutting down a couple of hand traps, including Nibiru because of the Appaloosa, right? Other than that, the early Nibiru, I guess is okay-ish, but I don't think it, you know, would matter in at least it would have mattered in the long run. I guess the Nibiru now gives me an extra draw Doki Doki. It's not going to matter in the long run because again the Doki is kind of useless in my hand. I think I already used the Doki. I'm not sure. No, okay, discard level 4, search Analyzer. Yeah, that's cool. But now I have a strong Appaloosa, potentially ending on the Buster Lock again, and depending on the resources that I have in the graveyard, I can potentially end on Masquerina plus potential Unicorn play during their turn with Block Dragon. Do I have that? Yep, I have that. So this should be my game, even with a Dark Ruler. Yeah, it is, there it is. You know, Appaloosa to 0 attack, everything to 0 attack, no monster negations, but that's where the, you know, the Buster Lock comes into play. It just says no against every deck that wants to use their extra deck. So draw another Appointer, use Doki, I guess discarding for another level 8, basically just Link material, the Link Cross is still there. Go for Unicorn, and Block Dragon is so broken, so OP. And this should be my game, right? So we're going into a 5-gamer, again another 5-gamer. As I think I would have, you know, in all honesty, would have fell before this matchup. Going first is superb. And it kind of depends on the side deck, right? Like, especially for both decks. Looking at both decks, the hand traps, the side deck eventually. Okay, so game number 5. Let's see. Again, going second, and my hand is kind of okay-ish. Problem is that there might be some... I'm not sure, is the deck playing... Yeah, Talents definitely, but I'm not sure about Kalba. But here in this case, Kalba, you know, would have been useless, so... Anyway, the Gearfried combo, you know how it goes. It puts up an early Gearfried before the 5th summon, so for the potential Nibiru, that's an obvious play. But this is fine, right? Because again, there is the combination of both Nibiru and Imperm, so that's definitely one of the combinations I want and I need to prevent that Infernoble Knight shenanigans from going through. I was thinking about the right time to drop it, and I think waiting on the level... No, because the potential heralds, I think. There is, yeah, indeed, using Deskbot and Token could have been a herald, right? So that's why I dropped Nibiru. Eventually, you know, Nibiru and Implement Ras Fear Mode, 6th card. That could have been crucial. Imagine, you know, the Smoke Grenade picking something, the 6th card being Ras Fear Mode, but did I have a special summon ready? Did I have Gigantus? I'm not sure, because... Again, like both small Adamancipators need their normal summon. If I don't have at least a starter that's not needing the normal summon. And I don't think I had that one. But the combination of both Imperm and Nibiru was definitely more than enough. And Ash is whatever. I can, you know, this deck has so many options. Well, like, imagine a potential Nibiru here. I think I should have, like in hindsight, I should have played around that one. Maybe I should, you know, put up an early Appaloosa or something like that, right? Like Ash into Nip or something to force out Quackimiru Guardian. But in the long run, I guess my luck helps it out here. So Emancipators will take this one over Infernoble Knights. But let's face it, it was kind of close. As expected, a 5-gamer, but both decks are very similar in, you know, terms of power level, going first, going second. Again, because again, both decks are kind of, you know, from 2020. So next matchup, we have a rematch from the previous one, and it's Ravine Rulers versus Macro Rabbits. So again, left side, you know, upper part. Feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lead him out. Peace.